Hello students, welcome to CR Digital Classes. I'm Hasham Ali Khan. By joining CR Digital Classes, you can enhance your knowledge on the subject and excellently you can write an examination and you can get good results in your examination. Now, presently we are discussing about single entry system which is in Unit-4 Financial Accounting 2. From this unit in examination, in section A and section B, you may get the questions. In section A, for 4 marks, you may get a theory question or a problem. We have done so many problems and discussed the theory of A section for 4 marks. But in B section, 12A or B, you will get a problem. Compulsorily, you will get the problem, but very rarely they may ask one theory, one problem, but compulsory problem will be there. Now, problems are of two types, where statement of affairs method and conversion method. In statement of affairs method, we compare the capital at the beginning of the year, end of the year to find out the profit. Whereas in conversion method, we convert the incomplete records into complete double entry system. Then after preparing that, after converting that, we can as usual prepare the trading account, profit and loss account and balance sheet. So presently in this video, I have taken up one examination problem which was frequently asked, and I'll explain you how to find out the profit under conversion method. In conversion method, the main requirement is to find out the total sales and total purchases. Once we find this total sales and total purchases, the other information we can get it. And by using that information, we can prepare the trading account to find out the gross profit. We prepare the profit and loss account to find out the net profit. Similarly, we can prepare the balance sheet. So this problem, which I'm going to explain you in this video, has been asked in June, July 2022. And the similar problems had also been asked in various examinations in the past. So first of all, I'm reading out the problem. From the following particulars extracted from the books of Mr. B, kept under single entry system, you are required to find out the amount of credit sales and credit purchases. We are not required to make trading account or profit and loss. Simply it is asking you to find out the credit purchases and credit sales. Remember one point. How to find out credit sales? By making two ledger accounts, that is total debtors account and bills receivable account. By making these two accounts, we can find out credit sales. For credit purchases, we have to prepare total creditors account and bills payable account, right? So in this problem, which has been asked in June, July 2022, for 12 marks. Now, see the problem from beginning. From the following particulars extracted from the books of Mr. B, kept under single entry system, you are required to find out the amount of credit sales and credit purchase. Our requirement is only to find out the sales and purchase. So, the information given in the problem is sundry debtors on 1st January 2015. And sundry creditors on 1st January 2015, bills receivable and bills payable on 1st Jan 2015. These are the opening balances. Next one, cash received from debtors, sundry debtors at 31st December 2015 and sundry creditors at 31st December 2015. Similarly, bills receivable and bills payable at 31st December. So what are given? First of all, opening and closing balances of sundry debtors, opening and closing balance of sundry creditors, then opening and closing balance of bills receivable and bills payable. That is the information given. Apart from that, cash received from debtors, right? Now, discount allowed to customers, then bad debts written off, return inwards, cash paid to creditors, discount allowed by creditors, cash received against bills receivable, return to suppliers and payment made against bills payable. This is the complete information given. From this information, we will make total debtors, bills receivable, total creditors, bills payable. The only thing you have to remember is which item will come in which account. That is the most important thing. First of all, we'll focus on preparing the total debtors account and bills receivable account to find out the sales. To find out the sales. Later on in the next slide, we will discuss about the total creditors and bills payable. Come on, move on to find out the the total sales. Now see, first of all, we are making total debtors account and bills receivable account. Remember, the debtors and bills receivable are assets, and all assets will show debit balance. So what I'm taking, debit side to balance brought down. So what is the opening balance of sundry debtors? It is 4425. You can see here 4425. So I'm taking here 4425. Then opening bills receivable. You can see here bills receivable on 1st January 1600. So balance brought down, balance bills receivable 1600. 1600. We have taken the opening debtors, opening bills receivable. Similarly, at the same time, you can take the closing balances. The closing balances will be taken on the opposite side. So what I'm taking, lastly, balance by balance carried down. Here also I am going to take last item by balance carried down. What is the closing balance of bills receivable? Oh, sorry, sundry debtors. Sundry debtors on 31st December 2015 is 4,167. 4167. 4167. Similarly, closing balance of bills receivable. The bills receivable closing balance 1,480. 1,480. So the first thing is you must take the opening and closing balances of debtors and bills receivable. Now you see the problem. Sundry debtors, then creditors we are not taking right now. Bills payable not taking. Cash received from debtors. When we receive the cash, entry will be cash account debtor, debtors account credit. So cash account should be debited, debtors account should be credited. So here I am taking by cash. How much cash is received from debtors? 17,235. 17,235. We have taken cash received from debtors. Then sundry debtors closing we have taken, creditors we are not taking, bills receivable we have taken. Discount allowed to customers. The entry will be discount allowed account debtor to debtors. So debtors account should be credited by discount allowed. How much is the discount allowed? 174. No, 174. Then we have bad debts written off. Bad debt is a loss, and all losses will show debit balance. Bad debts account debtor to debtors. So debtors account should be created by bad debts. By bad debts. How much? 255. Then we have return inward. Return inward means sales return. The entry for sales return is sales return account debtor to debtors. So debtors account should be credited by sales return. Sales return. How much is the return inwards? 345. 345. Next, cash paid to creditors we are not taking right now. Discount allowed by creditors. Again, we are not taking. Cash received against bills receivable. When we receive the cash against bills receivable, the entry will be cash account debtor to bills receivable. So bills receivable account is credited by cash. So here in bills receivable account, I am taking by cash. How much cash is received? 3,000. Then comes Return to suppliers. Suppliers of the creditors. Next table I'll show you. Next account I'll show you. Payment against bills payable. Again, in the next creditors and bills payable, I'll show it. Now, after taking all the items, before finding out the total sales, we have to find out how much is the bills receivable balance. So here you can see 3000 plus 1480. So it is 4480. The total on the credit side is 4480. Here also I am taking 4480. Now this is the total on the credit side. Now I am finding out the balance. 4480 minus 1600. It comes to 2880. This 2880 is what? These are the bills receivable received from debtors. Bills receivable received from debtors. Entry will be bills receivable account debtor to debtors. The bills receivable account debit side to debtors. This is the balancing figure. It is not given in the problem. We have calculated. The bills receivable received, so debited. Debtors should be credited. So in debtors account, here I am writing bills receivable. How much bills receivable we have received? 2880. Here I am taking 2880. That's it. So this account is closed, bills receivable account. Now finally total debtors account is remaining. Here the balancing figure is the total sales. The balancing figure is the sales. So how to find out the sales? Take the total on the credit side. That is 17,235. 17,235 plus 174 plus 255 plus 345. It is plus 345 plus 2880 plus 4167. It comes to 25,056. 25,056. 25,056. Yes. 25,056. Now, the balancing figure on the debit side of total debtors account are the sales. That's what we have to find out. From 25,056 minus 4425. That comes to 20,631. 20,631. These are the sales. This is the balancing figure. That's all. So what we have done here, to find out the sales, we have prepared total debtors account, total creditors account. How to find out the sales? First of all, opening and closing balances of debtors and opening closing balance of bills receivable. That we have taken. Remaining items, whatever is given, like cash received from debtors, discount allowed to debtors, bad debt, sales return, bills receivable received. This bills receivable received from debtors is not given in the problem. By preparing this bills receivable account, we come to know that during the year some bills are received. How we come to know? Because it is given bills receivable, opening closing balances are given, and cash received on account of bills receivable is given. So the balancing figure 2880 is the bills receivable received from debtors. Now the balancing figure is sales. That's all. Just know how we have calculated the sales. Similarly, we have to calculate the purchases by preparing total creditors account and bills payable account. Now I'm moving on to the next slide. That is total creditors account and bills payable account. Exactly same. First, we take the opening and closing balance of creditors account and bills payable account. Remember, creditor is a liability and all liability will show credit balance. So here I am taking by balance brought down. Balance brought down. How much is the opening balance of creditors? Here in the problem you can see sundry creditors on 1st January 2015 2691. So here I am taking 2691, right? Similarly, bills payable is also a liability. So credit side by balance brought down. By balance brought down. How much is the bills payable at the beginning of their 500? Opening balances we have taken. Similarly, closing balance will take it in the last. Opening balance, credit side. So closing balance will be on the debit side. To balance carried down. Here also, bills payable account also same thing. To balance carried down. How much is the opening balance? Sorry, closing balance of creditors? Sundry creditors closing balance is 2835. So here I am taking 2835. Similarly, closing balance of bills payable is 1020. 1020. That's all. Opening and closing balances we have taken. Now other transactions, just to see the problem here. What are the other transactions? Discount allowed to customer, bad debt written off, return inward we have taken, cash paid to creditors. When we pay the cash to creditors, entry will be creditors account debtor to cash. So creditors account debit side, I am writing to cash. How much cash paid to creditors? 8934. 8934. Similarly, discount allowed by creditors. So it is discount received. So entry will be creditors account debtor to discount received. So creditors account debit side to discount received. How much is the discount received? 129. Then cash received against bills receivable already over. Return to supplier. Return to supplier means purchase return. The entry will be creditors account debtor to purchase return. So creditors account should be debited to purchase return. Purchase return. So return to supplier is 156. 156. Then next comes payment against bills payable. That means we have made the payment to bills payable. Entry will be bills payable account debtor to cash. Bills payable account debtor to cash. So here I am writing to cash. How much cash is paid for bills payable? 1400. Now you can see all the items which are given in the problem finished, completed. All the items we have taken. Before finding out credit purchases, you have to find out what is the balancing figure in bills payable account. So debit side 2420. 2420. Here also I am taking 2420 minus. So we can find out 2420 minus 500. It comes to 1920. What is this 1920? These are the bills accepted during the year. The business has accepted the bills. So entry will be trade creditors account debtor to bills payable. So entry for bills accepted during the year. Creditors account debtor to bills payable. So bills payable credit side by creditors. This is not given in the problem. This is the balancing figure, right? Then creditors account should be debited here. Bills payable. Bills payable. How much? 1,920. 1,920. That's all. Bills payable account is closed. Now we have to find out the purchases of trade creditors account. So here the debit side total. First of all, we'll find out 8934 plus 129 plus 156 plus 1920 plus 2835. That comes to 13,974. 13,974. From 13,974 minus 2691, it comes to 11,283. This 11,283 are the purchases. This is the balancing figure. Ultimately, it is asking you to find out the purchases by preparing total creditors account and bills payable account. This is the complete procedure of finding out the credit sales and credit purchases by preparing debtors account and creditors account. This is the end of the problem. But similar type of problems I'm going to explain you here, which was asked in previous examination. You can practice by following the same explanation which I have given just now. I'll show you in which examination those problems were asked. Similar pattern, frequently asked questions. You can see here. This was asked in Jan 2021 for 15 marks. At that time, it was COVID pattern. That's why the pattern had been changed and it was 15. But presently, the question will be only for 12 marks. Now, from the following information, you are required to calculate all the exactly same procedure is given. Same items are given. By following my explanation, you can easily solve this problem. No change at all. Whatever I have explained, the same thing you can apply. You can get the total sales and total purchases. Now, similar, one more examination they have asked in June, July 23 OU. Similar type of problem. So here also figures are given from the books of a businessman kept under single entry system. You are required to find out the amount of credit sale and credit purchase by preparing total debtors account and total credit. Here also bills receivable, bills payable. Now just two items are different here. For that I will give the explanation. Cash received, already we know. Discount allowed, we know. Cash paid to creditors, discount received, bad debts written off. All these are already discussed. But the new point here is bad debts previously written off, now recovered 330. This item was not there in the earlier problems. New point. When we receive the amount from bad debts recovered, the entry will be cash account debtor to bad debts recovered account. A new account is opened for bad debts recovered. So entry cash account debtor to bad debts recovered. But we are not preparing bad debts recovered. So ignore this entry. This entry will not come in total debtors account and bills received. Just you have to ignore. Bad debts recovered. And secondly, payments made against cash received. And one more thing. Return bills receivable dishonored 750. This is another new point. When we receive the bills receivable, entry will be bills receivable account debtor to debtors. This is the entry when we receive. Suppose if the bill was dishonored, the entry will be reversed. Entry will be debtors account debtor to bills receivable. So in that case, debtors account will be debited, bills receivable account will be credited for bill dishonored. That is the new point. Only two new points are there. One new point only completely ignore. Bad debts recovered will be ignored, will not come in total debtors account or bills receivable. Secondly, bills receivable dishonored. So reverse the entry. What we have passed when we receive. So entry will be debtors account debtor to bills receivable. These are the two new points. Remaining all points are same. Hope you understood. how to calculate the total sales, credit sales and credit purchase by making total debtors account and total creditors account. Watch the video once, twice, then definitely you will get the complete grasp, complete command on this type of problems, very frequently asked in examination. All the best on behalf of SIA Publications.